Have you heard of Noom? That one weight loss app where they're like, we'll help you lose weight with psychology. Get into your brain, da 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 da. And you're just like, what? There's no way this is real. And that would be correct. Well, in my opinion, because I tried it for like, well, I had a 14-day trial, but then it felt like the trial lasted a week past that for some reason. I don't know if that was like a glitch or if they like do that on purpose so they think you got it for free, another week for free. But I did that and I kind of had some problems with the app. First of all, I don't really know where the psychology part comes into it. I think maybe they just mean by teaching you like healthy eating habits and like counting your calories. But that's the thing, I feel like counting your calories is kind of problematic in my opinion, because I feel like it kind of fosters a habit for being very intense when counting them, and to the point where it almost breeds an eating disorder. Like, have you heard of that before, when people are so meticulous about their calorie counting, like it's almost considered an eating disorder at that point? So that's the first thing I kind of had a problem with the app. The second one was they want you to check your weight every day. Again, I feel like, I mean, I know it's a necessary evil when you're probably trying to lose weight intentionally, but at the same time, I kind of felt like I'm not the type of person to check the weight every day. Like, honestly, we have a weight in our house and I literally never check it until I downloaded this app. And then I downloaded the app, checked my weight for the first weight check-in, and I realized I gained 10 pounds in the last year, and I was just like, but the fact that I haven't checked the weight in a year and then like seeing the weight I have gained, it made me feel really bad actually. And like, I've been fine with the way like my body looks like in the mirror and stuff, but then seeing the weight attached to it, I was just like, wow, okay, this is cool. Like, I didn't notice, and I guess it's good that I noticed, but at the same time it kind of made me feel like awful. So I don't know, I don't know if I'm a fan of the daily weight check-ins. I just feel like that's a little OD. Like, I guess I can understand how it would be necessary to track, because if you're trying to lose weight, obviously that's very important information to have, but at the same time, it was just, I don't know, I didn't like it. The other thing is that it wants you to not only count your calories, but it also wants you to log your meals, which is easier said than done, especially if you eat like ethnic food. Half the time the ethnic food in there, it's not in there, or if it is in there, it overestimates the amount of calories you consumed when you ate it. So it's just like you didn't really get all the calories you apparently logged in, which I don't know. Like, I get it. Again, I get it. Everything I said, I get it. But I don't know if I'm really a fan. And honestly, people's weight loss journeys are different and people like taking different approaches. So maybe it's just not for me. But in my opinion, I didn't really like those three things in particular. However, there are a few things that I think were not as bad. For example, it kind of categorizes food in 3 categories. So green, yellow, and red. And it just means you can basically eat everything, but the amount you eat is different depending on which category the food is in. So green is like leafy greens and, you know, really super healthy stuff like fruits and veggies. And then yellow is when you kind of get into some different meats, some carbs, other things like that. And then red would be like pizza, cake, stuff like that. And you can still have that stuff, just a very small quantity. So I do like that concept to a degree. I mean, Again, tracking your meals and tracking the calorie count to know how much green, yellow, and red is another story, but I do think that concept is not really a bad one to have. They also do provide different meal plans. It wasn't a lot from the plan I was on, but I'm sure if I actually bought a full plan of Noom, then I'll probably get more. But that was a good guide to have. I think if you're somebody that doesn't really know what to cook or what foods to buy, I think that's definitely very helpful. And they also do kind of teach you about things such as phases of motivation. There's this thing called the improve method, which is a DBT skill, which I'm gonna just put stuff on the screen because I honestly don't remember what that stands for. But overall, I don't really know how Noom helps people. Like, I'm sure maybe I honestly just got like the tip of the iceberg in terms of what the Noom program provides. But for me, I don't know. Maybe I just need to give it another go or look into it more. But for me, I just felt like, especially with the weight check-ins and the calorie logging, like I can definitely see myself getting really, really into that to the point where like it becomes a problem for me. So I personally don't know how I feel about Noom, but I'm sure for other people, it seems like on Reddit, I've tried to look at Reddit forums and it worked for some people. So I'm glad that did help them. But for me, I think the only thing I can say I took away from it is to maybe be more intentional with my meals. And I've definitely been cooking at home more in the past like month-ish than I have been maybe like 3 months ago. But besides from that, I don't really know where the new like helps you lose weight with psychology. That slogan, I don't know, seems a bit like a stretch to me, but maybe I'm just wrong. So I want to show an example of what the meal calorie tracking looks like, and this was on like the 4th of July, so it kind of looks crazy right now, but essentially it just looks like this. And honestly, I would say don't always trust Noom's calorie tracking and put the calories in by yourself. So that means looking at the packaging, figuring out what a serving size is, if you ate 1 serving size or 1.5, and calculating from there versus just typing into Noom, because it looks like I ate like a whole bag of Cheetos Puffs, which is not true at all. So not only does Noom have a group support system, but they also have one-on-one coaches that are supposed to help you through different questions. And people think they're bots, and at times I kind of felt like that too, because they didn't really give like quick responses and they weren't very helpful to me, but that could be because I was on a free trial. Also, for those looking to add more fiber into their diet, here are some suggestions from Noom. I just screenshotted it for personal use, but maybe this is useful for anybody that is trying to add more fiber to their diet as well.
Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's Bora.